Every living creature on this earth, every system, collective, and ecosystem will be affected by this transformation. It is by design. All will be different. Hi there, it's Melissa from Messages Through Mel, and I would like to share with you what I wrote this morning. And we are in the middle again of the coronavirus pandemic, and we will probably be in it for a while. And I just wanted to share the way that I do this is that I start with my thoughts and how I felt that day. And then the collective, the universe, whatever you want to call it, you can call it God, the angels, the guides, whatever. They chime in, and I'll get something that I'll just write that I know did not come from my brain. It came from somewhere else because it's not what I would have said. So I usually start by writing what I'm thinking about or what's been going on. And I would like to read to you what I wrote today. I didn't want to get out of bed this morning. The world is in chaos. People are dying by the hundreds, thousands even. My pet sitting business has completely dried up. There just didn't seem to be a reason for me to get out of bed this morning. Then my two little dogs, you may have seen them in yesterday's video, two little chihuahuas named Tigger and Rue, and both are rescues, woke up and they started shaking. They were hungry. They didn't get in my face or bother me to get up. They just laid there shaking. It was only 7:30 a.m., and they're usually fine to sleep as long as I do, which can sometimes, I usually get up between 7 and 7:30, but sometimes I can sleep as late as 8 or 9. And this morning I wanted to sleep a little bit later. I just felt like crap. Like, why even bother getting up? There's no work for me to do. And at first I'm going to say that it pissed me off. I tried to ignore it, but their shaking just got worse. So you can imagine I'm laying there in bed, and it little bitty 6-pound dog. So I could not go back to sleep. I threw the covers off the bed, I put my robe on, and I stomped out to the front door to let them out. They quickly went pee-pee. Their bladders are tiny after all, and they did have to hold it all night. When we came back inside, they looked up at me expectantly for breakfast, although a little sheepishly, because they knew I was mad. Oh well, I'm up now, I thought. I might as well feed them. So I fixed their breakfasts, let them out to go number 2, fixed myself a cup of coffee, and I sat down on the couch to write in my book. They both came up to me for some snuggles and some petting and some loving. And once again, all was right with the world. My anger had subsided. I was already up. I was trying to make sense of it, trying to figure out, what is this all about? I truly believe that anything that happens has a reason. And I have to tell you, I don't know what I would do without them, without my two dogs. I live alone with my dogs, but they need me and I need them. So I know for a fact that I can't just give up. I can't just be so thoughtless that I let my feelings affect them in negative ways. What I do, good, bad, or selfish, or selfless, has an effect on them. Now I get a message from the collective. We all have someone that we love. Kids, parents, significant others, spouses, grandparents, friends, pets. We all have someone that we love. And in this time of worldwide crisis, what we do affects them. You may not see it or hear it, but the effect is there. No one right now is immune to the effects of this pandemic that this pandemic is having. Whether you get the COVID-19 virus or not, you are not immune to the effects. No one, not nothing. From people to pets and all animals to ecosystems and life groupings, mankind, birds, rivers, forests, and including the earth itself as an organism, all will feel this reach. This is a global transformation. It's not here just for the people or the financial system or the governments. It's here for the environment and all species. We, as people, choose to call the effects good or bad. For example, good might be that there was less smog and less pollution over China, and the air cleared up. Bad is, of course, that people die from this. But to the universe, there is no judgment, only what is. It is what it is. And in my own personal thoughts, it's kind of like a worldwide earthquake, shaking things up, destroying some things, renewing other things. It's a transformation of the global landscape. Now, I say that's from me, but that might still be from the collective. And then I get over to thinking about me. And they want me to share my personal story right now. As I sat there on the couch this morning, I got a feeling to share part of my personal story with you, and I don't want to. But I promised the universe that I would share and bring these messages forth, so I'm going to. For me, personally, this worldwide, national, local, and personal crisis has caused a lot of anxiety. I've always considered myself a strong, courageous, fearless, and independent person. Years ago, I left college before finishing my degree in computer science and instead became a professional jockey from zero experience. It was a long, hard road, but I was determined to do what I wanted to do. I've started and run several businesses over the years, and just a few years ago, I sold everything I owned to live and travel in an RV. Right now, I'm living in this nice house. You might notice I'm not in an RV. As the caretaker and fixer-upper, as it fits in perfectly with my freedom lifestyle. Now, I want you to know, I'm telling you this part of my story. I'm not bragging here to show you what I've done. What I am doing is just trying to get the point across that I can take care of myself. I consider myself an independent person who can do what needs to be done to take care of myself and live the life of freedom that I want to live. Most of us can and have been able to take care of ourselves, but this whole crisis is putting a big question mark on all of that. And I feel like I'm losing control. Like things are happening that are out of my control, and I'm at the mercy of other people and other events. I haven't felt that way since I was a kid, in an uncontrolled, chaotic, warlike childhood that left me scarred and hurting. And I feel like they wanted me to share more at the time, but I cannot do that right now. So I just want to say that I had a difficult childhood. I know many of us have. And I just can't go into any more detail right now. And they say that that's okay. There might be a time when I can share more, but I'm not ready for that right now. I will share that I have PTSD because of a traumatic childhood. And let's just say that the events of this pandemic have ignited that PTSD on fire. And I know that I'm not the only one that is dealing with this on a deeper level. You know, they talk about, and I didn't write this down, but I'm going to bring this up right now. They talk about people who have pre-existing conditions, health conditions, and how this virus will affect them more dramatically. Well, that is also the case for people who have other mental health conditions like PTSD or depression. And it's something that hasn't really been, to my knowledge, brought up yet, so I'm bringing it up here. It has ignited my PTSD on fire and made my life a lot more difficult right now. In fact, and I'm going to start reading from here again, I think some members of my family think that I'm overreacting to what's going on right now. And they are right. Because, and I wrote this on here, PTSD plus anxiety plus global pandemic equals overreacting. They don't see what's going on inside of me. Just like I couldn't see what was going on with my dogs. I didn't know what was wrong with them. They can't talk. All they could do was shake. And I had to figure it out from there. At this point in my writing, the collective takes over again. Every living creature on this earth, every system, collective, and ecosystem will be affected by this transformation. It is by design. All will be different. Notice, what is yours to take? Whether you judge it as good or bad matters not. It is happening for you, not to you. Accept it with love. And that blew my mind. And that was the last sentence that I wrote. That blew my mind. This is happening for us, not to us. And the universe, the collective, God, source, angels, guides, whatever you want to call it, wants us to accept it with love, because love is the answer. And I know that's cliche, but it's also the truth. I'm going to leave you guys with that for today. That was the message. I will see you tomorrow. This is Melissa of Messages with Mel. Bye for now.